Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Fat Man coming at you. So I live basically in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, and we have just had our second Bigfoot sighting in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to tell you about the first one. I am on www.richlandsource.com. And so the first story was from May 20th of this year. And I'm just going to read that for a minute. In Ashland, which is a nearby town, a 20-year-old woman walked out of the warehouse 24-hour gym around midnight, her workout complete. She turned to the right and headed to her car in the well-lit parking lot. There were no other vehicles in the lot on that side of the building, constructed and opened in 2018. But she was reportedly not alone on the cool, clear spring night, April 24th. The woman heard a twig snap. She looked and saw a creature 7 or 8 feet tall, covered in gray fur, racing back into the woods about 30 yards away. It was far too large, likely several hundred pounds, and moved too quickly to be a man, she believed. Shaken and in tears, she called her parents from a nearby restaurant, asking them to come and drive her home. She had likely encountered a Sasquatch, according to nationally acclaimed Bigfoot investigator Matthew Moneymaker, who has devoted much of his life to the pursuit of the mysterious creature, including the national cable TV show Finding Bigfoot. I'm sorry to Mr. Moneymaker. I was just entertained by his last name. Sorry. Moneymaker, a California resident who founded the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization in 1995, spoke to the woman and to her father before posting report number 69065 on his website. There were plans to visit her in person to gain more information and research the location of the sighting outside the gym at 1151 Commerce Parkway on the city's east side. I think city is a kind of a generous word to use for Ashland. Ashland is a very small town. At any rate, unfortunately, Moneymaker said some of the woman's friends and coworkers learned of her experience through the website and made light of her claim. She and her father asked her name to be removed from the website report, a request with which Moneymaker complied. Well, it's too late now, right? She isn't interested in further participation. She isn't backing off of what she claimed she saw. She stands by what she saw, and so do her parents, he said. She is a young woman and doesn't want people who may be ignorant making fun of her. I believe her, and I do think it happened. This is not a hoax report. So it goes on, and there's like a map, and it shows, things. I don't really feel like that part of it is too important. I will put the links down in the description. But now, just this morning, I saw on Facebook, second possible Sasquatch sighting reported in Ashland County. That is, by the way, that's my home county. And if you've seen my first video I made, I went through all the various, sightings, well, not all of them, but a bunch of the various sightings I myself have had over the years of different paranormal occurrences. One time I thought I saw Bigfoot, but like I said in that video, it could have been a guy in a suit just screwing with people. Well, I'm the kind of person where I would much rather have like ideally you want to catch Bigfoot, right? You want to shoot him with a tranquilizer or something and have him there to inspect, and bring in scientists, whatever, test his DNA and things like that, and see what his deal is. So yeah, I saw a thing once, but I don't put a lot of stock in it because it could have been faked so easily, That said, I'm very open-minded to the idea of Bigfoot. I've often thought, as weird as our world is, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if there's just something like a gorilla or something that just lives in a colder northern climate, and we've just never caught one. At any rate, with this second story, then the new one from today, I'll read this too. Ashland County. The 51-year-old Ashland County man freely professes an interest in the Sasquatch phenomenon. But with more than 2 decades of work in the law enforcement business, he also knows he saw something on June 9th that he can't easily explain. It's weird it happened on June 9th and we're just now hearing about it over a month later. At any rate, was it the second Bigfoot sighting of 2021 in Ashland County, coming on the heels of a reported encounter near a 24-hour gym on April 24th, just a few miles away? No one, including the second observer, can say for certain. I have tried to explain it away, but I can't, the man said Friday from his home north of US 30. In all the years I have lived here, I have never seen anything like it. The sighting. Here's how he described it, including a report he filed July 6th with the National Sasquatch Guru, Matthew Moneymaker, and his Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization website. After a 90-minute summer afternoon rain, the man who asked his name not be used in this story was aboard his riding lawnmower when he saw something near the tree line next to a recently planted soybean field, perhaps 250 yards away. A large all-black figure walking upright emerged from the tree line, walking diagonally in a northeast direction across the bean field, and then disappeared into another wooded area. Stunned, the man stopped his mower and just watched. He had no way to record what he was seeing. It had been raining hard the night before I mowed. I normally keep the phone in my pocket, but I didn't want to have it with me in case it started raining again, the man said. It happened so quickly, there would have been no way for me to get back into the house and grab it. I knew it would be gone. As the creature walked, the man drove his mower about 35 yards closer to the edge of the bean field, unable to get closer. As the creature walked, the man drove his mower about 35 yards closer to the edge of the field, unable to get closer. I don't know if that's a typo or what. At that point, the dark figure was just east of the trail cam, and I was hoping it would cross in front of the camera, but it stayed to the north of it. It was following a deer trail, the man said. The whole time I was thinking, no one is going to believe me. The man said the dark figure crossed the field in about 90 seconds without any trouble, disappearing into chest-high weeds and then into the tree line. He watched for several minutes to see if the figure would reemerge, but it never did. Deep depressions in the terrain also provide cover. The man pointed out someone could literally park a truck in the one of them and would not be visible from his property. Oh, okay, and these weird pits. Okay. I also scanned the tree line for any vehicles that might be there from someone walking, but there weren't any. I could not figure out what I had just seen. I finished mowing and I didn't even tell my wife until a few days later. He initially wondered if it was a neighbor checking a nearby trail cam or perhaps a mushroom hunter. Subsequent checks with his neighbors found out neither was the case. Who would have been out in that pouring rain dressed in all black, the man said. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'4", and if I was wearing all black and for some reason I was trespassing on your property, at any rate. He searched the field for footprints but found none. Okay. He later found and photographed 2 large impressions close to a nearby creek that could be footprints, including toe indentations. It's hard to tell, he admitted. Well, it's weird to me that he was in, what did it say, law enforcement for 20 years or something? Yeah, but with more than 2 decades of work in the law enforcement business. He also knows he saw something he can't easily explain. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, I will include a link to both stories. I moved 2 years ago. I used to live in Ashland County, and now I live in Richland County. I actually live relatively close to the famous Mansfield Reformatory, where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption, and it is famously haunted. And I can talk more about that in other videos, but at any rate, when I moved to this area over here in Richland County, I live out in the country in a cabin in the woods. We kind of joke that it's the Evil Dead cabin, if you've ever seen the Evil Dead movies, just because it bears a kind of a passing resemblance physically to that cabin. But when I moved here, somebody warned me about Bigfoot. I can't even remember exactly what they said anymore. But it was one of the old men who lived around here. And I thought he was joking. And so I was like, "Oh, you're kidding, right?" And he's like, "No." And here it turns out he was dead serious. I just thought it was like deadpan humor. And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess that guy believes in Bigfoot." And then I don't know how much time passed. And then the same thing happened to me again, where another guy kind of warned me about Bigfoot. And I don't know how many people mentioned it. Maybe like a dozen. There are like a dozen people who all live, within a couple miles of where I live now. And they all said that oh yeah, there's, what would be the plural there? Bigfoots, big feet, I don't know. Sasquatches. But these things, a bunch of people are just like, "Oh yeah, it's a thing. They live around here." And I was like, "Get out of town," But there are nights when we'll hear something outside. The kind of across from where I live is there's an older gentleman who scraps old cars and things like that, and he recycles the metal and everything. And then the money he gets from doing that, he's doing that for the local church, and it goes to help kids in the area. So everybody brings, like, not just even cars, like if you got an old washer and dryer or something, they take it to his place. And so at any rate, I'm close enough to the scrap stuff. Some nights we'll hear something banging around, and I'll just say something to him the next time I see him, like, "Oh, were you kind of burning the midnight oil or whatever?" And he'll have no idea what we're talking about. He tends to, if 5 o'clock rolls around, he's done. He doesn't want to do anything after that. So it just makes me wonder, kind of makes me wonder if there could be something to this. I don't know. I try to keep an open mind towards the Bigfoot thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like I ever hit one with my car or something and you could just, there it is, we got proof. Let's, throw it in the bed of the truck and take it to the police station or something. I've never had any experiences like that. Have you ever had an experience with that sort of thing? If so, let me know in the comments section. Or just say whether you do or don't believe, or whatever. Let's just have a conversation about it. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you say. If you want to hear more stories like this, be sure to hit subscribe and like and all that jazz, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.